Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Hello. Test 1 2.
Pretty good. Good evening. This is the Village Council regular public meeting. The date is October 8th, 2025, and the time is 7:36 p.m. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by a posting on the bulletin board in Village Hall, by mail to the Ridgewood News, the Record, and by submission to all persons entitled to same as provided by law of a schedule, including the date and time of this meeting. Roll call.
Councilmember Mortimer.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Perrin. Here. Councilmember Whites.
Here.
Councilmember Winograd. Here. Mayor Vagianos.
Here, will you all please join us in a salute to our flag? Going forward, I'm going to ask Councilman Mortimer to wait until I get out of my chair to begin the Pledge of Allegiance.
He's just very patriotic, Paul.
Yep. And first of all, forgive us, it's a little chilly tonight. Those of you in short sleeves, it is what it is. We're trying to warm the room up tonight.
Well, actually, Paul, it's because we're going to start the polar bear swim.
Yes.
This is to get people acclimated.
Very soon. But we're gonna do something a little different tonight. I'm gonna ask Joy Mancini of Photometry to come up and take the mic. And it is, for those of you who don't know, we are in the midst of the Mayor's Wellness Challenge, which has been going on for many years, but we have really expanded it this year, and we are trying to get to 1 million minutes of wellness by the beginning of December, and everyone can log on to the village website and log their minutes, which if I can figure out how to do that, everybody can do this. And we're trying to get to 1 million minutes. We are already up over 300,000 minutes, so we're very excited about that. And Joy is going to lead us in a moment of meditation and breath. Help me? Breath awareness meditation, which we're all going to participate in. Those of you at home, please participate. and you all get to log this as part of your wellness minutes. So, Joy, please take over.
Just be sure that that microphone is on. Please look for the green light on the microphone.
Your microphone.
At the bottom,
Joy.
Joy, there should be a green, at the bottom of the.
No.
Nope.
Joy, up, at the base of this microphone. Is there a green light? Right? Yes.
Yeah.
No? Try it again. Hold on.
There you go. I think it's working, but no. Paul's trying to get his steps in.
Yeah, so you can log more minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe it froze.
He's going to give you a hand.
Thank you. Okay. So thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you for having us here. We're honored to be here. From Photometry, we have a wellness on Saturday at 12. You're all invited. Anyone who would like to come, just use my name, Joy, to get in the door. It's Saturday at 12. So what I have just 1 minute to go with you for this meditation. So if you all would like to close your eyes, put your feet grounded on the ground. Don't cross your legs, just have your feet grounded. And just close your eyes, bring your hands together in front of your heart. Gather your hands in front of your heart and just close your eyes for a moment. And just start to notice your breathing in and out of your nose. So we breathe in through our nose down to the soles of our feet as we inhale. And we exhale and allow the breath to come up from the feet, through the legs, through the belly, up the chest, through the back of the throat, and out the crown of the head. So we breathe in through our nose from the sky to the earth, and we exhale from the earth to the sky. Now, what I want you to do is just feel any sensation at the crown of your head. Just notice your breath at the crown of your head. And then feel your breath at the temple skin. And notice the smoothness of your forehead. Feel your breath in between your eyebrows. And then notice the bridge of your nose. Breathe in through your nose and feel the cooler air coming into your nose. And then notice the warmer air going out as you exhale. And then feel the lips and notice any moisture in between your lips. And soften your jaw and let your jaw unhinge. Feel your tongue at the bottom of your mouth. Notice your whole neck and feel the temperature at the back of your neck. Notice the weight of your arms. Feel the upper arms and the elbows, the wrists and the hands. And then notice as you inhale, your belly fills up with the air and your belly inflates. And then allow the breath to deflate your belly as you exhale. Notice the weight of your hips on the chair and feel the weight of the thighs. And then notice the bend of the knee and feel the softness behind your knees. And then trace the shape of your calves down to your ankles and feel the weight of your feet on the ground. Notice all four corners of your feet, the big toe, the baby toe, the inner edges and the outer edges. And then just feel the heaviness of your feet on the ground. Now feel your body as a whole, noticing all of its sensations, dropping into this rest. When your body rests, that's when it heals itself. It goes into rest and restore. Thank you all for listening to me. And please try to come to our wellness classes. And I feel honored to be here with all of you. And anytime you may think of politics, try to think of peace and feeling this grounded feeling within you. Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Joy. We really appreciate it. And I want to thank Siobhan for bringing Joy in tonight. I know I feel calmer and better. So, and let's see, there are 26,000 residents. We get 26,000 minutes. So the math is good for us. So let's continue with our regular meeting now that we are all calm. I move the bills, claims, and vouchers and statement of funds on hand as of September 30th, 2025 be accepted as submitted.
I second.
Mortimer?
Yes.
Perrin?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Winograd? Nagianis?
Yes. I move the Village Council minutes of September 3rd and September 10th, 2025, having been reviewed by the Village Council and now available in the Village Clerk's office, be approved as submitted.
I second.
Mortimer?
Yes.
Perrin?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Winograd?
Yes.
And Nagianis?
Yes. And now we have some fun stuff we're going to do tonight. So if our council will join me in the well, let's go down there and get the party started.
Okay, so before I read the proclamation, everybody, I'm Siobhan Cram Winograd, and before I was on the council, I was a founding member on the Elder Committee, so these are my worlds colliding. About 10 years ago, both my children were young, and I was in charge of the 7th grade volunteer middle school project at GW. We have any GW middle school students, and this was a great way to connect our students with elders in the community. And I met all these lovelies, and we launched something at Old Paramus Church. Several of you, I believe Paul and Pam were there from the very beginning, and it was a wonderful opportunity. And this year is our 10th anniversary, which seems kind of mind-blowing because I still feel like my kids are in middle school. So this is a proclamation honoring that. We hope that everybody joins us this year at the Old Paramus Church. If people do not have a place to go on Thanksgiving, it's a wonderful place to find new friends, connect with your community, and the food is delicious, as Stacy does in the kitchen. My kids will be expecting me to send them some granola this year at college, so here we go. Whereas the Village of Ridgewood provides programming for senior Ridgewood residents on a monthly basis, and whereas the Giving Thanks Ridgewood Elder Dinner is an annual event presented and sponsored by Ridgewood Parks and Recreation, Health Barn Foundation, No Fuss Lunch, Arjun and Supriya Kapoor, Age Friendly Ridgewood, the Old Paramus Reformed Church, Ridgecrest Senior Housing, Share, Ridgewood Public Schools, Ridgewood Party Rental, Wilkes Family Delicatessen, and community volunteers of all ages. And whereas the Giving Thanks Ridgewood Elder Dinner has been held on the Sunday closest to Veterans Day every year since 2016, and it's allowed the senior Ridgewood residents to come together to celebrate what they are grateful for with others while enjoying musical entertainment from our high school and a nutritious and delicious home-cooked Thanksgiving dinner. And whereas the Giving Thanks Ridgewood Elder Dinner is an intergenerational event, as students want to spend their volunteer community service hours being with senior residents, music at the event is provided by Ridgewood High School students, and volunteers from throughout the village assist by participating in the food preparation, setting the tables, serving the food, clearing the tables, and cleaning up after the event. And whereas the Ridgewood Parks and Recreation was awarded the New Jersey Recreation and Parks Association statewide Daniel M. Gasselberti Excellence in Recreational Program Award in 2024 for the Giving Thanks Elder Dinner. Whereas in 2025 will be the 10th year of the Giving Thanks Elder Dinner and is now one of the most talked about events amongst Ridgewood senior citizens. Now, therefore, it be resolved that the Village Council of the Village of Ridgewood does hereby recognize Sunday, November 9th, 2025 as the 10th anniversary of the Giving Thanks Ridgewood Elder Dinner and celebrates this successful intergenerational annual event. It recognizes that the coming together to volunteer, assist, or participate in the events reflects the true sense of community found in the Village of Ridgewood, which is something we can all be grateful for. Can I say something?
So I'm Deanna Shablik, and I oversee the community center here in Village Hall and for Parks and Recreation. And I have the honor to work with our seniors every single day. This was something that was a no-brainer when it came to us to start, and I'm shocked that it's been 10 years because it feels like it was yesterday. And I don't do it alone. All of these people down here on the row here, we got Elaine and Stacy and Sheila. We are all part of the Elder Dinner along with Siobhan, and we're just a small group of what the entire community comes together. We just kind of put it together, and they come. They just want to help and do what they can. You want to say anything, Stacy?
I would just say that what was left out is that we never stopped over the 10 years. So during the pandemic, we did, people drove up, Pam was there, and we packaged like 250 meals, and we delivered it to Ridgecrest, and that went on for almost, it was 2 years. Yeah, we did the trunks. So they would open up their trunks, as you know, the whole COVID thing. So they would flip the trunk open, we would put the meals in, they ordered ahead of time. We had it so orchestrated, so we never missed a year. And because of the volunteers, it's at least 100 volunteers that make this happen. So thank you so much.
Anybody else? Okay, so I'm going to give this to you for the photo. You can, the official, yeah. Deanna, okay. There you go. And we're going to get together for a photo.
How nice is that? Well, we got a lot of nice stuff tonight. I'd like to call up Mary Zisk. Here, let's go over here. Let's go over here. Mary is an artist, and as you can see, she has painted some emblematic areas of Ridgewood. And she had her first art show, I believe, at the Stable. Is that correct? Yep. And don't correct me, please. It was at the Stable, and she has graciously and generously donated these prints to the Village of Ridgewood, and they are going to hang for a very, very long time right here in Village Hall. Let's give her a big round of applause. Mary, would you say a few words? I got to tell you, I think that these are iconic pictures. And I asked Heather if I could put one in my den, and she said no. But I may go online and get one. Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
I've been a resident of Ridgewood since first grade, and I just want to thank the school system from first all the way through high school with the great art programs they had. I really learned a lot, and actually I got permission in senior year to take double art classes instead of science. But then I found out I couldn't get into college unless I had a science class. So then I took sophomore biology when I was a senior. Anyway, I love this town, I love the history of it, and I'm very happy to paint it. I've enjoyed it very much. And I just want to say to the baseball players, they didn't have softball for girls when I was in school. So I'm very happy for you because I didn't get to do what you have done. So times have changed, and I'm thankful for that.
Mary, thank you so much. Thank you for your incredibly beautiful and iconic gift. Like I said, I can't wait to see where they are hung in Village Hall. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. All right? And now, I would like to call up the Ridgewood softball team. Everybody over here. And this team has accomplished so much this year. I am so excited for them to be here. My daughter played on the softball team many years ago, so this is something that is very near and dear to my heart. And this is their coach. Is it Mike? Mike Kelly. And so I'm going to let Mike tell you exactly what this team has accomplished and read out the names of the girls. We have certificates for each and every one of them.
Thank you. This is an amazing team, great group of girls, and great softball players too, on top of that. We played in the Little League tournament this year, and we won districts, we won sections, we won state, and we went to regions. We ended up taking third in regions. If we would have won regions, we would have gone to the World Series. So it's... So this is only the second team in the history of Ridgewood that's made it to winning the state championship and then going on to the regional playoffs. So they should be very proud of themselves. I'm super proud of them, and I'm really excited.
Excellent. And so, girls, you're going to do the wedding line. I'm going to hand you your certificates as you walk by, but please shake hands with every member of our council because we're all so proud of you. And actually, let's do pictures first because we're all set up for that, and then we'll do the wedding line. Let's give them one more round of applause. As Mary said, there was no girls softball team when I went to high school, so I'm very happy about this. And now, I want to call up the Ridgewood Raiders baseball team. And I know they had set many conflicts tonight, and they could not be here, but their coach is here, and so I'm going to let you tell them exactly what your team did. Please introduce yourself.
Richie Miller, RBSA Executive VP for baseball, and just so proud of the journey that these boys put our parents on throughout the summer. We traveled all over the East Coast, from Cooperstown to Maryland to, you know, Hershey, Pennsylvania. And we were the third team ever at the 12U level in Ridgewood history to make it to the States. So we're still practicing because the girls are a little better than us. That's why a lot of the kids aren't here tonight. But Really amazing journey. We won sectionals for the first time in many, many years in Ridgewood. And as a parent, I'm just super proud because my wife and I had an amazing summer. My daughter was on the girls' team. My son was on the boys' team. So the summer of 25 is something that we'll always remember. And for the boys, the experience that they provided, along with the girls, we represented Ridgewood really well, really proud. We put Ridgewood across the chest, and some of our baseball teams have the village of Ridgewood, and we always say we want to represent the village and the town. And these girls and boys, they did an amazing job. So thank you.
Richie, thanks so much. Here are the certificates for your team. Please let the entire council congratulate you. Thank you so much. How much fun was that? It was lovely.
Yeah.
So, now let's get on to the rest of our regular meeting. Let's go right to public comment.
Good evening. My name is Grace Freeborn. I live at 456 Beverly Road, and I'm a senior at Ridgewood High School. I'm here to speak with you tonight because I've recently completed my Girl Scout Gold Award, and I'm tremendously proud of the historical research I've done on the village of Ridgewood. My project focused on marginalized groups that I felt were underrepresented in our historical literature. I specifically focused on women's history, African American history, and Native American history in and around Bergen County. Through my research, I worked closely with the Bolger Center at the Ridgewood Public Library, and I'm tremendously grateful for all of their help. They found tons of media for me to look through, from maps to single copy books, photographs, and newspaper articles. Their help was essential, and I know that without the support of the Ridgewood Council, they wouldn't be able to make their work happen. I'm speaking with you tonight because I'd like to request your help in spreading my research with your peers throughout Bergen County. I'll be sending all of you an email tomorrow with a link to my website, and I'm hoping that you can distribute it with your peers around the county so that all of their constituents can have access to my research. Thank you so much and have a nice night.
Grace, thank you so much. I was about to ask you for a copy of your research, but thank you for forwarding it to us, and I can assure you that we will all be forwarding this to elected officials and friends and colleagues throughout the county and northern New Jersey. Thank you so much. I think this is an excellent project, and we're very excited about it.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Ann Loving, Ridgewood taxpayer. The other day, we received this in the mail, this flyer, which describes a referendum question that residents will vote on in November. I am not here to offer any kind of opinion as to how anyone should vote on the proposal that will increase our taxes if it passes. My only concern is really who developed this document, who paid for the printing, who paid to mail it to our homes. The only identification on the document is the words, "The Stable," with an address. It doesn't include a QR code. It doesn't include a phone number. The Stable is a building. It's not a person. It's not an entity. The carefully worded document does not promote a yes or a no vote, and it does not include a political statement. Therefore, as far as I understand New Jersey election law, there is not a clear requirement that the person or group who developed and paid for the mailer has to be identified in a paid-for-by disclaimer. But every election document I've ever received includes this. Even these other documents that the village puts out, like the leaf collection schedule and the budget, something from the water department, they all include way more information than this flyer, which is an election flyer. Councilwoman Winograd was passing these around on Tuesday morning at the Fields Committee meeting. The village manager posted it on his Facebook page. So one could conclude that the taxpayers paid for this document, including the development, printing, and mailing. Why then is this not clearly spelled out, as it is on other documents that have come from the village of Ridgewood? It really doesn't seem to be an oversight. It seems like a deliberate choice to be vague. Please let us know the origin and the cost of this information election document. Thank you.
Thank you, Ann. Anybody else? Seeing no one, I'm going to close public comment and open it up to the council for
Mayor,
any
if I may.
responses. Yes.
Mrs. Loving, this was paid for by the Village of Ridgewood. It was prepared by our Recreation Department staff in conjunction with members of the Open Space Committee. It was fully vetted by Matt Rogers, our village attorney, to make sure that it was in compliance with all applicable laws as to educating the public about an ongoing referendum ballot question that will be voted on Tuesday, November 4th. This was modeled after the mailer that the Recreation Department puts out 3 times a year, Deanna, that outlines all of the recreational programs that are offered by season, and it was done by the same staff that prepares that document.
Thanks, Keith. Anybody else?
Yeah, I just want to say something because I wanted to close public comment, but Grace, when I send you this video tomorrow, I just want to say how proud I am of you that I gave her her silver award, and because I am a former Girl Scout and a former Girl Scout leader, and we talked a lot about gender balance. Each year in America, 65,000 boys achieve their Eagle Award, and only 4,000 women achieve their Gold Award. This council's very supportive of this. Well, of course, we'll support Grace, but if there's other girls listening to this, and of course the Eagle Scouts as well, we love these initiatives. We love them. We have protocol here. I'm not really supposed to interrupt during public comment, which is why I'm waiting, but for this whole council, and I hope everybody says it, Grace, we are so proud of you. This is so exciting to see somebody from silver to gold. It was one of the first things I was invited to when I took my seat, and anybody else who wants to do anything like this, any young Girl Scouts, Daisies, anybody, we are available to help support that, and congratulations, Grace.
Anybody else? Siobhan, I just want to say that you are always mentoring young people in our community, and it makes me proud to have you as my friend and my colleague. Thank you so much. And with that, we will go to our manager's report. Keith?
Thank you, Mayor. I first want to start off by thanking Mary Zisk, echoing the mayor's comments as to her donation of this artwork that you see before you tonight. I don't want to be too selfish, but it'll actually be prominently displayed in the manager's office. Mary's artwork also was used this year on the front of the village calendar that was sent out last January. We certainly took notice of the artwork and how she focuses on the landmarks and the sites here in Ridgewood. So we are very proud to display her artwork up in the manager's office, and we look forward to it being there for years to come. I also want to recognize tonight, a few weeks ago, Carmine Bayoni, who is a Ridgewood Water employee, and Jean Puck, who is an employee of one of our contractors, rescued a dog who was being attacked by yellow jackets. Some local children had tied the dog to a tree while they were playing nearby, and unbeknownst to them, there was an insect nest under the area where they left the dog. The insects were disturbed and then attacked. The kids were unable to tie the dog because he was panicked and pulling the leash tight. Carmine and Jean used a knife to cut the dog free. Carmine suffered several insect bites, but the dog was saved. We want to thank Carmine for going above and beyond the call of his professional responsibilities here in the village to help the children and save the life of their beloved dog. So Carmine is not here tonight, but I'd love to give him a round of applause. And we extend many thanks to both Carmine and Jean for acting so swiftly during that situation. On Thursday, October 2nd, the village conducted a bond anticipation note sale consisting of $41,133,275 Series 2025 notes as follows: $25,642,000 in general obligations, $13,288,000 from the water utility, and $2,203,000 from the parking utility. There were 5 participants in the note sale, offering a net interest cost to the village of between 2.554 and 2.684. The successful bidder was J.P. Morgan with an offering price of $41,133,275 with a net premium of $592,730, resulting in an effective interest rate of 2.554. Last week, by comparison, there were many note sales in North Jersey municipalities and the Bergen County Improvement Authority. All were in excess of 2.6 effective rate. So our AA bond rating continues to result in favorable borrowing results for the Village of Ridgewood. I want to mention that you might be able to hear us a little better tonight in the council chambers. The upgrade to the sound system that's been long awaited, especially by those who attend village council meetings on a regular basis, was complete last week. We are doing a test run tonight. Obviously, we have some work at the podium to do tomorrow morning, but so far so good, and we've had some pretty positive comments about the improved sound quality here in the council chambers. Road resurfacing, we're continuing to wrap up our road resurfacing program for 2025. In the last week or so, we've paved Linden Street, Westgate Road, Highview Terrace, both sides of Stonycroft Road, Hammond Road, Eastbrook Road at the Loop, Ivy Place, and West Side Avenue. So I want to thank Chris Rudishauser and his team up in our Engineering and Public Works Department for all of their valuable work in making sure that we were able to resurface these roads before the weather changes and make it unfavorable to do so. We are in the process of removing hazardous trees on the Shedler property. That initiative began yesterday, and as of close of business today, we have had 9 removals and 3 trees pruned, and during the balance of the week, we expect to remove the remaining 10 hazardous trees and have 2 additional trees removed. Just a few announcements. The mayor mentioned earlier the wellness campaign. This is a 12-week challenge here in the Village of Ridgewood. We are, from what I understand, in excess of 300,000 minutes at this point.
No, that was in excess of 300,000 minutes.
Yes.
You said that, sorry.
Challenge is open to anyone who lives, works, or participates in programs or services here in the village. Simply log in your minutes between now and December 5th, and you can visit the Wellness Challenge webpage on the village page for more details. The Ridgewood Farmers Market continues on Sundays through October 29th from 8:30 to 2 p.m. at the train station on the west side. The YMCA will be hosting their Oktoberfest on Sunday, October 12th on the West Village side of the train station from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. There will also be free 10 to 4. 10 to 5. With free parking at the Hudson Street parking garage. The Village of Ridgewood offices will be closed on Monday, October 13th, in observation of Columbus Day. The recycling center will also be closed. There'll be no curbside bulk pickup refuse that week. Leaf season begins on October 13th. Schedules have been mailed out, and they'll also be posted on the village website. Just want to make a note that the dates that are listed for each section of the village for leaf collection, those are the windows in which we're asking folks to place the leaves curbside. Those are not the dates that the leaves will physically be collected. Final voter registration for the general election on November 4th. Last day to register is November 14th. That's Tuesday. From 4:30 to 9 p.m., there will be voter registration available in the lobby of the Ridgewood Public Library. On Halloween, we will have a trick-or-treating event for the second year here at Village Hall. Please bring all the little ones in costumes for a fun, safe, and easy trick-or-treating experience at Village Hall, at the library, at Ridgewood Water, at the stable for the Recreation Department, and at the Fire Department. We will be hosting that event from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. on Halloween. And finally, upcoming Village Council meetings, October 22nd is a work session, November 5th is a work session, November 12th is a public meeting, all begin at 7:30 p.m. And that concludes my report, Mayor.
Thank you, Keith. Let's go to council reports. Frank?
Thank you. Yeah, we had the Parks and Rec Board met last week, and we had a presentation from Jim Bossler at Open Space to talk about the referendum and all the cool things that Open Space wishes to do with if it passes. And anyone that is curious about how the money is intended, or I should say it's a wish list at this point, Open Space meets tomorrow night, 7 p.m. at the stable. Come on by, bring your questions, and they can answer anything that's out there. We also got a presentation from Scott Mueller, and this is in regards to the Hawes Field renovation, that the Ridgewood Baseball is going to be paying for it so that we can get the field redone. And then we also spent a lot of time going through discussing any proposed fee changes through Parks and Rec, and it does look like we're going to hold costs and prices for Graydon and many of the other services, so that's good that we'll have that price. And that concludes that, and I would like to end by saying to Dylan, thank you for the sound system. When Keith was talking, I'm like, wait, I can hear him. So far, so good, so thank you. And last, yeah, Oktoberfest is this Sunday on the west side, and that's from 10 to 5. And the thing is that Oktoberfest is a very family-friendly event, so it's not what you might imagine it to be otherwise, but there's going to be a whole bunch of kids' activities that will all be free, and a hayride is not free, but it does go through the heights. So would encourage all families to stop by on Sunday. And that's it, Mayor.
Thank you, Frank. Siobhan?
Sure. So on Tuesday, we had the Fields Committee meeting, and it was a very interesting, a little bit long meeting. I'm pleased to report that the high school has implemented an enhanced weather tracking application. So it's been interesting because sometimes they'll say it's going to rain for 4 hours, but the rain is insignificant and play can continue. They spoke about that. They're partnering with the village to look at it. It was a very interesting update on how software is changing so we can track and monitor dangerous weather like lightning and also storm weather to see if it rains and can interrupt play. We did discuss that RBSA, and this is also tonight, made a very generous donation to Hawes, and the baseball/softball field in Upper Hawes, which gets confusing because everyone thinks the school owns it, is actually a village field, will be restored, and that will be done over the election week, the 2 days that the schools are closed. So we're very grateful to RBSA and their continued partnership and their very generous donations. We also discussed that the Fields policy is currently undergoing a revision, and that will come back to the Fields Committee. It's a shared document between the Board of Ed and us. There's a committee going back and forth with many changes, so that will be vetted by the Fields policy the first Tuesday of November, and then come to this council. It's still in draft form. We also discussed that RASA is looking for more people to help with their watch party. As many people know, it's a World Cup year, and they have the idea of using perhaps the Cashel Shell, Evan, on a Friday night to have a community watch. So we could gather the community, they could watch the USA team play, and they're looking for any and all participants to help them. They're a very passionate crew. I also want to just take a minute and list a couple thank yous today to Ann Burton Walsh and the League of Women Voters. I know many of us attended that. I know many of us are members of the League of Women Voters. Thank you for all that you do and the interesting discussion today where they hosted Holly Shapizi at the Old Paramus Church. I want to take a brief moment and thank Joy and Photometry, who are not only encouraging us to all calm down, take a pause, take a breath, but that is my gym, and they are sponsors with Paul's Million Minutes of Wellness. So thank you to Photometry and most especially Joy. And ditto Mary Zisk. I have one of those paintings in my house, and what a treat. And I was whispering to Heather. She should definitely take one for the clerk's office. So thank you to Mary. And lastly, we will have a break next week, but I want to remind everybody to follow us on social, that Access Week, which I've talked about a lot. The lineup has been released. Please join us at any and all of the Access events, whether it's Pull Over Properly or ASL 101. It's been released in an e-notice and on social media, and anybody who's interested, please come and join us and find out more about it. And that's it.
Thanks, Siobhan. Ev?
Great, I'll be brief. None of my committees met since we met last week. I did attend the luncheon today that Siobhan mentioned. Also want to thank Ann Burton as well as State Senator Shapizi. It was a really great event. A lot of open discourse with our public officials, which was great, and really appreciate everything the League of Women Voters does, as well as the free lunch.
Free lunch is the best part. Thanks, Ev. Pam?
Let's see. Green Ridgewood will be meeting tomorrow night in the senior lounge downstairs, and you may remember that Green Ridgewood partnered with the Columbia University graduate students over the summer, and they researched the bike path and the Saddle River Park, all 6 towns from Ridgewood down to the southern tip of it. And their report came up with certain recommendations for sustainability and resilience along the Saddle River. Well, it also turned out that there is a grant available for planning remediation of regional areas. And here we are with 6 towns all centered on this brook. And so with a lot of persistence, Green Ridgewood was able to get the county to act as the prime applicant for the grant, and so we're eager to work with them on that. Also, Green Ridgewood had found something called Pearl's Premium Grass, and with the advanced placement environmental students, they tested several different types of grasses and found that Pearl's Premium has the longest roots, and therefore it has properties that would help during a drought. And Ridgewood Water planted Pearl's Premium in front of the flagpole that's in front of their headquarters, so you can watch that grass grow, actually. And I also want to thank the Ridgewood High School class of 1974 for their donations to the Alumni Association, which was then passed along to the advanced placement students and funded that research, that experiment with grass. Ridgewood Water, I haven't reported on this in the past, but every quarter, the 4 towns of Ridgewood Water get together and talk about the myriad issues before them. And this time it was so technical that some of it went over my head, I have to admit. But a lot of it had to do with the booster situation from the lower area to the intermediate area to ensure water delivery, and also lead pipe replacements. And then at the end, we said goodbye to Michael Kors, who has been the business administrator at Ridgewood Water. He is going on to another project to expand a wellness business. And so I think he'll enjoy that work, and we all wished him well. Let's see, the Central Business District Advisory Committee and the Open Space Committee are planning a joint meeting to look at safety downtown, and that will be October 16th in the Senior Lounge.
CSAC.
Excuse me, CSAC, not open space, right? I knew it was you, though. And the planning board did not meet on October 7th for lack of an application. Our next meeting is scheduled for October 21st, and that's all I have.
Thank you, Pam, and I have nothing to report, so let's get on with our regular agenda. We'll begin with our public hearings. I move the clerk read ordinance 4057 by title on second reading and that the public hearing thereon be opened.
I second.
Mortimer?
Yes.
Perrin?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Winograd?
Yes.
Vagianos?
Yes. Will the clerk please read the title of ordinance 4057?
A bond ordinance providing a supplemental appropriation of $1,500,000 for the construction of the main PFAS treatment facility in and by the Village of Ridgewood in the County of Bergen, New Jersey, and authorizing the issuance of $1,500,000 bonds or notes of the village to finance the costs thereof.
The public hearing is now open. Seeing no one, I move the public hearing be closed.
I second.
Mortimer?
Yes.
Perrin?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Winograd?
Yes.
And Vagianos?
Yes.
I move that ordinance 4057 be adopted on the second reading and the final publication as required by law.
I second the motion.
Mortimer?
Yes.
Perrin?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Winograd?
Yes.
And Vagianos?
Yes. I move the clerk read ordinance 4058 by title on second reading and that the public hearing thereon be opened.
I second the motion.
Mortimer?
Yes.
Perrin?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Winograd?
Yes.
And Vagianos?
Yes. Will the clerk please read the title of ordinance 4058?
A bond ordinance providing a supplemental appropriation of $2 million for the construction of the East Side PFAS treatment facility in and by the Village of Ridgewood in the County of Bergen, New Jersey, and authorizing the issuance of $2 million bonds or notes of the village to finance the costs thereof.
The public hearing is now open. Seeing no one, I move the public hearing be closed.
Second it.
Mortimer?
Yes.
Perrin?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Winograd?
Yes.
And Vagianos?
Yes.
I move that ordinance 4058 be adopted on the second reading and final publication as required by law.
I second the motion.
Mortimer?
Yes.
Perrin?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Winograd?
Yes.
And Vagianos?
Yes. I move the clerk read ordinance 4059 by title on second reading and that the public hearing thereon be opened.
Second.
Mortimer?
Yes.
Perrin?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Winograd?
Yes.
Vagianos?
Yes. Will the clerk please read the title of ordinance 4059?
A bond ordinance providing a supplemental appropriation of $2 million for the construction of the Mountain PFAS treatment facility in and by the Village of Ridgewood in the County of Bergen, New Jersey, and authorizing the issuance of $2 million bonds or notes of the village to finance the costs thereof.
The public hearing is now open. Seeing no one, I move the public hearing be closed.
Second that.
Mortimer?
Yes.
Perrin?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Winograd?
Yes.
And Vagianos?
Yes.
I move that ordinance 4059 be adopted on the second reading and the final publication as required by law.
And I second it.
Mortimer?
Yep.
Perrin?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Winograd?
Yes.
And Vagianos?
Yes.
The following resolutions, number 25-390 through 25-397, are to be adopted by a consent agenda with one vote by the village council. They will be read by title only. Title 59 approval, construction of new Glen Avenue Booster Station. Award contract under Sourcewell Cooperative Purchasing Program. Lease of 2025 Ford Maverick Hybrid Compact Pickup Truck and 2025 Ford Escape SUV Plug-in Hybrid. Award contract under North Jersey Wastewater Cooperative Pricing System, Passaic Valley Sewerage Commission, carbon steel spool, Glen Avenue Tank Booster Station. Award contract under Educational Services Commission of New Jersey contract, furnishing and installation of Genetec video servers. Actually, I think this one was removed. I apologize. That was removed from the agenda. Authorized change order, additional cold water meters and accessories.
So moved? Oh, sorry.
No. Authorized change order, professional services for PFAS treatment facilities, Prospect, Ames, Wardendike, and Cedar Hill. Additional construction, administration, and observation. Authorized Department of Community Affairs, grant application, main PFAS treatment facility, declare vehicle surplus property. 1 second, I just want to check one thing, if I may.
And just to be clear, it's 393 we think was pulled, right?
Okay, so actually, the Genetec server is on this one. It's not on the main part of the agenda. This is Ridgewood Water. So may I have a motion?
So moved.
And I second.
Okay. Mortimer?
Yes.
Perrin?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Winograd?
Yes.
And Vagianos?
Yes. I move the first reading of ordinance 4061.
Have a second?
Right?
Oh, I'm sorry, second.
Mortimer?
I am happy to say yes.
Perrin,
Yes,
Whites.
so glad to see this progress.
Whites,
Agreed, yes.
Winograd,
Yes.
Vagianos.
Yes, so ordered. Will the clerk please read ordinance 4061 by title?
An ordinance vacating the public interest of the Village of Ridgewood in a certain portion of Marlborough Road to satisfy the 1983 disposal of Green Acres restricted property in accordance with New Jersey Green Acres Program requirements, NJAC 7:36-1 et sec.
I move that ordinance 4061 be adopted on the first reading and that November 5th, 2025 be fixed as the date for the hearing thereon.
I second it.
Mortimer,
Yes.
Perrin,
Yes.
Whites,
Yes.
Winograd,
Gladly, yes.
and Vagianos.
Yes, I move the first reading of ordinance 4062.
Second.
Mortimer,
Yes.
Perrin,
Yes.
Whites,
Yes.
Winograd,
Yes.
and Vagianos.
Yes, so ordered. Will the clerk please read ordinance 4062 by title?
A bond ordinance providing for improvements to Kings Pond Park and Playground in and by the Village of Ridgewood in the County of Bergen, New Jersey, appropriating $618,000 therefor, and authorizing the issuance of $587,000 bonds or notes of the village to finance part of the cost thereof.
I move that ordinance 4062 be adopted at the first reading and that November 5th, 2025 be fixed as the date for the hearing thereon.
Another second.
Mortimer,
I'm very happy to say yes.
Perrin,
Yes.
Whites,
Yes.
Winograd,
Yes.
and Vagianos.
Yes, I move the first reading of ordinance 4063.
Second.
Mortimer,
Yes.
Perrin,
Yes.
Whites,
Yes.
Winograd,
Yes.
and Vagianos.
Yes, so ordered. Will the clerk please read ordinance 4063 by title?
An ordinance to amend Chapter 265 of the Code of the Village of Ridgewood, Vehicles and Traffic, at Section 265-65, parking prohibited at all times.
I move that ordinance 4063 be adopted on the first reading and that November 12th, 2025 be fixed as the date for the hearing thereon.
I second that.
Mortimer,
Yes.
Perrin,
I have a question. Some of these have a hearing date of November 5th, and others have November 12th.
So the two that are at the beginning are related to the disposal of Green Acres land, so we're trying to get them adopted so they're effective prior to what we hopefully will meet before the State House Commission in December. This way they will be effective before that.
I see. But our regular public meeting
Will
is
be the 12th. We'll have a
Gotcha.
special public meeting on the 5th.
Okay. Yes.
Whites,
Yes.
Winograd,
Yes.
and Vagianos.
Yes, I move the first reading of ordinance 4064.
Second.
Mortimer,
Yes.
Perrin,
Yes.
Whites,
Yes.
Winograd,
Yes.
Vagianos.
Yes, so ordered. Will the clerk please read ordinance 4064 by title?
An ordinance to amend Chapter 145 of the Code of the Village of Ridgewood fees at Section 145-6, fees related to code chapters.
I move that ordinance 4064 be adopted on the first reading and that November 12th, 2025 be fixed as the date for the hearing thereon.
I second that.
Mortimer,
Yes.
Perrin,
Yes.
Whites,
Yes.
Winograd,
Yes.
and Vagianos.
Yes, I move the first reading of ordinance 4065.
Second.
Mortimer,
Yes.
Perrin,
Yes.
Whites,
Yes.
Winograd,
Yes.
and Vagianos.
Yes, so ordered. Will the clerk please read ordinance 4065 by title?
An ordinance to amend Chapter 145 of the Code of the Village of Ridgewood fees at Section 145-6, enumeration of fees related to code chapters.
I move that ordinance 4065 be adopted on the first reading and that November 12th, 2025 be fixed as the date for the hearing thereon.
I second the motion.
Mortimer,
Yes.
Perrin,
Yes.
Whites,
Yes.
Winograd,
Yes.
and Vagianos.
Yes, I move the first reading of ordinance 4066.
Second that.
Mortimer,
Yes.
Perrin,
Yes.
Whites,
Yes.
Winograd,
Yes.
and Vagianos.
Yes, so ordered. Will the clerk please read ordinance 4066 by title?
An ordinance to amend the salaries, wages, and other compensation and to establish the employee agreement of certain non-union officers and employees of the Village of Ridgewood, County of Bergen, and the State of New Jersey for the year 2026.
I move that ordinance 4066 be adopted on the first reading and that November 12th, 2025 be fixed as the date for the hearing thereon.
I'd like to second the motion.
Mortimer,
Yes.
Perrin,
Yes.
Whites,
Yes.
Winograd,
Yes.
Vagianos.
Yes. I move the first reading of ordinance 4067.
Second.
Mortimer.
Yes.
Perrin,
Yes.
Whites,
Yes.
Winograd,
Yes.
and Vagianos.
Yes. So ordered. Will the clerk please read ordinance 4067 by title?
An ordinance to fix salaries, wages, and other compensation of non-union employees of the Village of Ridgewood, County of Bergen, and State of New Jersey for the year 2026.
I move that ordinance 4067 be adopted on the first reading and that November 12th, 2025 be fixed as the date for the hearing thereon.
I second the motion.
Mortimer,
Yes.
Perrin,
Yes.
Whites,
Yes.
Winograd,
Yes.
and Vagianos.
Yes. I move the clerk read ordinance 4060 by title on second reading and that the public hearing thereon be opened.
I second this one.
Mortimer,
Yes.
Perrin,
Yes.
Whites,
Yes.
Winograd,
Yes.
and Vagianos.
Yes. Will the clerk please read the title of ordinance 4060?
A bond ordinance providing for and authorizing the acquisition of the Warner Theater property in and by the Village of Ridgewood in the County of Bergen, New Jersey, appropriating $2,600,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $2,475,000 bonds or notes of the village to finance part of the cost thereof.
The public hearing is now open.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Boyd A. Loving, Ridgewood taxpayer. Quite frankly, I'm shocked. And I've said this many times with respect to public hearings. It annoys me to no end, and I find it disrespectful to the taxpayers of Ridgewood that public hearings, especially one for $2.6 million, are opened with no explanation about what this is about. During our recent work session, I'm sorry, when this ordinance was introduced, Mr. Rooney was here, and a member of the Bond Council was here, an employee of the Bond Council was here. We have the public hearing, which is the opportunity for the public to make comments and ask questions about it, and there is no one there present to ask these questions of. You, Mr. Mayor, introduced this public hearing without offering any explanation about what this is about. This has been quite a confusing situation. I was originally told when I asked that this probably would not have to be introduced. This bond ordinance probably wouldn't have to be introduced for some time. 2 weeks after I asked that question and was given that answer, this ordinance was introduced. This bond ordinance was introduced. So, and I understand what the changes were because fortunately I was present when the member of the Bond Council, the employee of the Bond Council, and Mr. Rooney were here and explained it. But for those people who missed that, you opened the public hearing tonight by just saying the public hearing is now open. I would appreciate, and those members of the public who were not able to listen in or be present when the Bond Council spoke and Mr. Rooney spoke, appreciate an explanation of what this is all about other than the public hearing is now open. And I feel that the taxpayers are due that information, particularly since this is a large sum of money. So, could someone on the council please explain what this is all about? Thank you. And I'll stand and wait for that explanation, please.
Certainly, and I'm happy to make that explanation because actually at that time, at our work session, we did have our bond counsel, we had our CFO here, and we bent the rules a little bit because it was during public comment where we don't normally allow a back and forth from people at the podium. We wait till the public comment is closed, and then we respond to questions. But at that time, you had many questions, and this council allowed you to question these people directly. That questioning was broadcast to all 26,000 residents of the Village of Ridgewood. And so, in an effort to move this along without carrying additional expense, because every time we bring bond counsel in, we pay him by the hour, portal to portal. And so a full and complete explanation was not only given to all 26,000 residents, Boyd, but to you. And as a matter of fact, several people said to me, why did you let that go back and forth? Because you never let that happen. And I said, well, because it was a big bond ordinance. Boyd had several questions. I saw nothing untoward about it. So we gave you considerable leeway. I find it so interesting that now you come back and you criticize what we did.
I did state that the reason I asked for it tonight was for those people who weren't here. I did indicate, Mr. Mayor, that I was here. I did not deny that I was present in the room. So I did hear it then. I do appreciate you offering me the, quote, leeway, unquote, but I do feel, with all due respect to those people who did not hear it, particularly with a $2.6 million bond ordinance, it would be nice to say something other than the public hearing is now open. I was present. I admit that I was present. I had admitted it before. Can we continue, please?
I have nothing further.
So you're not going to say anything about what this is all about?
It's already been explained.
Thank you so much.
Anybody else? I move the public hearing be closed.
I second.
Mayor, if I may, I made the decision not to bring the professionals back tonight, and I stand by that decision. As the mayor indicated, we pay our professionals to be here at these meetings. This topic has been discussed at no fewer than 4 of the last 5 or 6 public meetings, and you are the only individual who had ample time, as the mayor just indicated at the last meeting, to have a back and forth with our paid professionals, which, as the mayor said, is not the traditional way of doing things here. I get emails every single day, Mr. Loving, on a variety of topics, from affordable housing to open space to everything in between. You're the only person that has indicated any inquiry as to this matter. And I'm not saying it's not an expensive venture, and I'm not saying it's not important to this village, because the mayor and I talk about this all the time. It's probably one of the top 4 major projects before this council. However, I made the administrative decision not to bring the professionals back tonight because you're the only person that has inquired about this particular project. I didn't think it was worth the additional expense.
And Keith, just to be clear for folks watching at home, we've discussed this issue at length many times.
I believe it's 4 of the last 5 council meetings.
Right, and including having bond counsel, including having our CFO speak to this, again, several times over. We vote on bond ordinances all the time where we don't rehash, what can be, hundreds of minutes worth of discussion at previous meetings. I don't know why we would treat this one differently. I mean, it's $2.6 million. We're voting on a bunch of water ordinances tonight that exceed that. But to the idea that somehow there's no transparency on this, and I don't want folks to have that idea. This has been discussed ad nauseum. Everybody had an opportunity to be heard on this issue. We've had the discussion, and now we're simply voting on things that have been discussed at previous meetings, which is what we do for every other bond ordinance that we have tonight and at every other work session since I've been here on the council for 3 years.
Because they want to make it controversial on the internet.
Sure, and I just want to comment that we opened 3 other ordinance hearings tonight, totaling $5.5 million just on water. There's another several $100,000 on other ordinances. And again, we discussed them at our work sessions. Those work sessions, as you know well, are all recorded and available for any individual who wants to check them out forever. So again, I find it quizzical that you choose this one but are unconcerned about the $5.5 million in water projects. And with that, let's go to our roll call vote.
Okay, it was seconded by Councilman Mortimer.
Second.
Mortimer,
Yes.
Perrin,
Yes.
Whites.
Yes.
Winograd,
Yes.
and Vagianos.
Yes.
Before I move this, I just want to recenter it. This is a unique opportunity for our town to save a building that's an important part of our culture, our history, and our Main Street. So this is regarding the Warner Theater. And before I move this, I just want to remind people, we have a lot of discussion about development versus preservation, and this is a very important step in preserving something that we've heard a million times deserves to be saved. So I'm going to now move that ordinance 4060 be adopted on the second reading and the final publication required by law, with additional excitement from me and gratitude for the people who worked on it.
I second the motion.
Mortimer,
Yes.
Perrin,
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Winograd.
Yes.
Vagianos.
Yes.
The following resolutions, number 25-398 through 25-411, are to be adopted by a consent agenda with one vote by the village council. They will be read by title only. Adopt revised bidding and quotation thresholds. Award contract under Bergen County contract Chevrolet Tahoe Fire Department. Authorize change order, replacement of underground fuel storage tanks and fuel system, village fleet services, monitoring well installation, and groundwater sampling. Authorize shared services agreement, use of styrofoam densifier with Franklin Lakes. Authorize shared services agreement, use of styrofoam densifier with Washington Township. Declare property surplus various IT items. Authorize execution of memorandum of understanding, childhood lead exposure prevention project. Authorize execution of memorandum of understanding, comprehensive cancer control plan, New Jersey Cancer Education and Early Detection Program, tuberculosis control and public health emergency preparedness program. Cancellation of general capital ordinance balances. Authorize refund and cancellation of property taxes, Block 4502, Lot 46. Authorize cancellation of property taxes on foreclosed property, Block 4407, Lot 2. Accept donation, fine art prints. Accept donation, renovation of Upper Hawes baseball field. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Mortimer,
Yes.
Perrin,
Yes.
Whites.
Yes.
Winograd,
Yes.
and Vagianos.
And as I vote yes, I want to thank the RBSA, who always steps up to the plate.
Ha ha.
Thank you. To make our village and our fields a better place. Thank you so much, and with that, I vote yes.
Okay. The following resolutions, number 25-412 through 25-414, will be considered separately and read in full. Whereas the Ridgewood Business Alliance, Inc., the District Management Corporation for Ridgewood Special Improvement District, has submitted its first annual budget to the Village Council of the Village of Ridgewood in accordance with NJSA 40:56-84. Whereas officers of the Ridgewood Business Alliance, Inc. and its consultant presented the 2026 budget to the Village Council at a regularly scheduled work session on September 24th, 2025, to explain how the 2026 budget contributes to the Ridgewood Business Alliance, Inc.'s goals and objectives. And whereas the Ridgewood Business Alliance, Inc. is now requesting the Village Council's approval of the 2026 budget introduction by this resolution, which shall constitute a first reading pursuant to the above cited statute. Now therefore be it resolved by the Village Council of the Village of Ridgewood that introduction of the 2026 Ridgewood Business Alliance, Inc.'s budget is hereby approved. The village clerk is instructed to advertise the 2026 budget together with the date, time, and place of the public hearing, which shall be November 12, 2025, at the Village Council's regularly scheduled public meeting, which begins at 7:30 p.m. and is held in the Sidney V. Stoll Jr. Courtroom of the Ridgewood Village Hall. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Mortimer.
So first, I want to thank the deputy mayor for all the work that she's put in, even before I was on the council, to make this happen. I am a giant believer that this is going to really help our downtown. I'd like to thank our consultant for all that he did, including taking a lot of phone calls from me so I can understand it. With all that said, and specifically, I'm going to say how much I really do support this. However, that this part of this business alliance is including people that are not represented on the current board of directors, which is Tier 2, which is outside of the Special Improvement District, as well as there's no representation yet for the non-for-profits. And so, to me, I do not have enough information to vote on this today, so that's why I'm going to abstain from voting.
Perrin?
Yes, I want to thank the council for creating the Ridgewood Business Alliance, and we are making overtures to various property owners and businesses in Tier 2, that is outside the Central Business District, and we do hope to have members of Tier 2 on our board for the Ridgewood Business Alliance, and with that, I vote yes.
Whites?
So I want to echo some of the things that Frank has said. I think this is great. Pam, you get a ton of credit for this. This is going to make Ridgewood a better place. I do share some of the concerns that we should try to diversify folks on the board of directors to include those who are not the sort of traditional businesses we think of being within the central business district, and to also have some sort of consideration for folks who maybe feel that the assessment for them specifically is unfair. Again, fully cognizant of the free rider problem. I have gotten assurances from you, Pam, from you, Paul, that that's going to be part of the plan going forward. So on balance, I think this is a great thing, and I'm going to vote yes tonight, just understanding that'll be part of the go-forward plan. But again, just want to thank the two of you and everyone else who had a piece of this, because this really is a good step forward for Ridgewood's downtown and Ridgewood businesses as a whole.
Winograd?
Sure. So with many things, we have concerns, but I don't have it with this because our town needs this. This is going to be the injection that we need for our downtown, as well as downtown is doing. It needs to do better. We need to reduce the vacancies, and this is a very much needed, long overdue step, and I'm really proud of you, Pam, and grateful that you did this. I vote yes.
And Vagianos?
Pam, you were the engine that drove this train for the last 2 years, and I am impressed. Not surprised, because you're so hardworking here, but I am very impressed that you brought this to this moment, and with that, I vote yes.
Okay. The next resolution, whereas the Village Council of the Village of Ridgewood awarded the work of rebid Kingsbridge Lane pedestrian bridge structural repair in the Village of Ridgewood through resolution number 24-327 inclusive to the lowest responsible bidder in an amount not to exceed $455,820 on October 9th, 2024. And whereas the Village Council also awarded change order number 1, Kingsbridge Lane rehabilitation work through resolution number 25-245 in an amount not to exceed $10,073.95, as well as change order number 2 to install hand railings meeting current standards across the bridge through resolution number 25-310 in an amount not to exceed $7,196.01. And whereas the Village of Ridgewood now desires to utilize this contractor for addressing the following out-of-scope tasks related to the project, consider change order number 3, vertical wall spalling in the eastern bridge abutment, treating any encountered oxidation of reinforcing steel. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Village Council of the Village of Ridgewood, that change order number 3 be awarded to the original lowest responsible bidder, Fred Devens Construction, 403 Stonetown Road, Ringwood, New Jersey, in an amount not to exceed $10,383, and be it further resolved that the Chief Financial Officer has certified that funds are available in Capital Ordinance number 3991.
So moved.
Second.
Mortimer?
Yes.
Perrin?
Yes.
Whites?
So I just want to direct some comments for this resolution as well as the next one. This is great. Thank you, Keith. These two projects either have been stalled for several years or have been discussed for several years. The fact that we're getting these sidewalks done, the fact that we're building this bridge, this is what I think all of us got elected to do, was basic good government. We're literally building bridges and paving sidewalks, and we're doing so in where previous councils could not get this done. I attribute that, Keith, to your leadership of just getting stuff done. I proudly vote yes on this one, and I thank Keith, your staff, and the entire village staff for getting this pushed forward.
Thank you, sir.
Winograd?
Ditto. I also would be remiss, and I think the whole council wants to thank Suzanne Ruane. I'm secretly hoping she calls in, but thank you for pushing us on this, and we look forward to all running across the bridge at the grand opening.
And Vagianos?
I echo Evan's comments. Yes.
Okay. So the final resolution, whereas the Village of Ridgewood desires to construct pedestrian safety improvements along West Glen Avenue, which will be comprised of sidewalks along both sides of the roadway. And whereas the properties along the eastbound direction, West Glen Avenue, between approximately number 162 to 204 West Glen Avenue, have significant slopes that need to be retained for the construction of the sidewalk. And whereas the Village of Ridgewood proposes to use a decorative concrete modular gravity retaining wall block manufactured by Northeast Concrete Products to retain the earth slope for the construction of the sidewalk. And whereas a preliminary design of the retaining walls indicates a need for approximately 4,767.82 face square feet of Recon Series 50 retaining wall block, weathered edge, cappuccino color, textured face, no color, for the properties along West Glen Avenue. And whereas the work of constructing the sidewalks in the eastbound direction of West Glen Avenue will also require additional effort, such as geotechnical engineering services for the designs of the wall footing, design of the modular retaining block placement, installation of the modular block walls, construction of the sidewalks and curbs, minor landscaping, and site restoration. Now therefore be it resolved by the Village Council of the Village of Ridgewood that the award of the purchase of 4,767.82 square feet of Recon Wall Systems Recon Series 50 retaining wall blocks, weathered edge in accordance with the proposal dated October 8th, 2025, being it's hereby awarded to the sole source supplier, Northeast Concrete Products LLC, 937 Burnt Meadow Road, Hewitt, New Jersey, in an amount not to exceed $183,425, and be it further resolved that the Chief Financial Officer has certified that funds are available in the following account, C-04-55-9DD-662, Ordinance 3991, and be it resolved that be it further resolved that the Northeast Concrete Products, Inc. has submitted documentation indicating they are the licensed producer of the Recon Wall Systems retaining wall block system that is proprietary in nature in accordance with NJSA 40A:11-239.
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
Mortimer?
So first, I'd like to say thanks to my predecessor, Lorraine, for getting all the sidewalks on Glen Avenue. Since joining the council, a big focus for me has been pedestrian safety and being part of CSAC. So to have these sidewalks completed is fantastic, and especially with as many concerns as we have on the volume and the speed on Glen. So I know this is going to help a lot. And I mostly want to thank all the private residences that agreed to have this done, because they're giving up some of their front lawn so people in the village can be safe. So thank you to them. And with that, I say yes.
Perrin?
Yes.
Whites?
Yes.
Winograd?
Yes.
And Vagianos?
What Frank said.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mayor, before you move on to public comment, if I may.
Yes.
So I just want to mention procedurally that resolutions 413 and 414 were discussed at the 7 o'clock meeting tonight with the council. Both were of an urgent nature due to our time constraints with the weather changing. Now that we're well into October, it was important to be able to award the change order for the Kingsbridge Lane pedestrian bridge so that we can have that reinstalled later this month, and that we were able to order the retaining walls for the West Glen sidewalk project in order to try to achieve that this fall as well. No guarantees, but we're going to try our best. A lot of it will be based on the contractor schedule and delivery times for these materials, but in an effort to move these projects along and try to get them done this fall, I appreciate the council's indulgence on moving on both this evening.
And with that, we'll go to comments from the public.
Good evening again, Ann Loving, taxpayer in Ridgewood. First of all, I'd like to say the acoustics are amazing. I really appreciate it. We can hear much better now. Secondly, I would like to say that I appreciate Councilman Mortimer not voting on the SID tonight. He had some very key questions about this at the previous meeting. He was, as I said at that time, quite rudely interrupted in the middle of the questions about finances, and I appreciate that he wants more information about the SID. I heard today about a business that's going out of business because the rents are so high, and I personally don't know how it's going to work out, because I think the landlords are probably going to pass an increase on to the tenants. Maybe not, but we'll see. Mr. Kazmark, respectfully, thank you for your response about the flyer. So it was vetted by the attorney and followed the format of Parks and Rec flyers that announce scheduled activities. Those are not flyers that address a referendum that's up for a vote on Election Day, the outcome of which will affect our taxes one way or the other. And frankly, I'm pretty sure that the Parks and Rec activities flyers include way more identifying information like phone numbers, websites, QR codes and so on for further information for anybody that's looking at it. Please, any future documents that you're going to put out about referendum questions that are coming up for a vote by the taxpayers, they should include a QR code, information about who's putting this document out, who paid for it, and contact information for those who have questions or concerns. Thank you.
Thank you, Ann.
Good evening again. Boyd A. Loving, Ridgewood taxpayer. I want to say something about parking. I think at your September public meeting, you passed a $1.3 million bond ordinance regarding the parking kiosk and money for additional studies by a parking consultant. It has come to my attention that in the borough of Fairlawn, the borough of Glen Rock, and the city of Hoboken, portions of the city of Hoboken, other than Washington Street, all the kiosks have been taken out. If you want to park at a commuter lot in Fairlawn, you need to use the Park Mobile app. Or they've got a parking app of some sort. If you want to park at the commuter lot in Glen Rock, you have to use an app. I'm just wondering if we should take a look and determine whether we really need to put in as many kiosks as we think we need to put in. Apps seem to be the way to go now. Many municipalities, I just mentioned 3, are going over to that situation where if you want to park, you have to use an app or a phone to park. There are no kiosks. We own property in Hoboken. My daughter and her family live in Hoboken. I'm in Hoboken 2-3 times a week. There are certain streets, in fact, most of the streets in the residential area, you have to pay to park 7 days a week, even if you're in a residential area, and you can only use an app to do it. So spending $1.3 or $1.2 million on kiosks, I just don't know if we're moving in the right direction with respect to that. The future may be that kiosks are no longer, and the consultant that you've hired to study parking should take a serious look and determine whether we need to spend that kind of money. You have to buy them, you have to maintain them. Maybe it's not the right thing to do. Just a thought. Quote, because they want to make it controversial on the internet, unquote. Wow. That is going to be the comment that appears on the internet, not anything I said. And I'm not going to put it on the internet, but I guarantee you somebody else will. I just can't believe that that is how taxpayers are treated now. That somebody on the dais goes after a taxpayer by saying that the only reason that I stood up and made all those comments about the public hearing was because I wanted to get something on the internet. Stuns me that we have gotten to that point that somebody can't exercise their constitutional right and come up here and say something about the way things aren't going in terms of the way I thought things should go, and we get a comment like, because they want to make it controversial on the internet from the manager. Very disappointing to me, and I hope this isn't the road we're going down. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Boyd. Anyone else? And with that, I'm going to close public comment. I'm going to issue a response first. Ann, thank you so much for your feedback on the acoustics. It sounded good for me up here, but hard for me to tell. It's really you guys sitting in the audience and especially further back. So I'm really happy because we did spend a couple of bucks on this, and we've been working on this for a long time. So that's very satisfying. Boyd, to your comment, there have been so many occasions where you and other people have come here and directed very pointed comments at every member of this dais. Every single one. Every time you do, the only comment you get back is, thank you, Boyd. Every now and again, you gotta be a little reasonable that, when you point comments at us, we're human beings. Every now and again, somebody gets their ire up and says what they're feeling in their heart. That's all. It was a momentary discretion. So I like that you hold us to a higher standard than you hold yourself. Please, hold yourself to the same standard, which is not to send pointed comments at all of us. And so one day, out of the hundreds of meetings that you attend, someone said something back to you. It's what we go through every day that we're here. And many of those comments come from you. So with that, I will open it up to the rest of the council.
Dylan, awesome.
Yeah, nice job, Dylan.
I just really want to say, like, I'm going to have to get readjusted not to choke the mic
Yeah.
because it sounds so good, so.
And for those of you listening, I usually lean into the mic, so going forward, I'm gonna try and sit back. How's the sound? Can you hear me well? Good, yeah, because my neck starts to hurt after a while, so.
I might bring a Barco Lounge in and lean back.
All right, yeah, let's not overdo it. And with the Barco Laundry comment, anybody else? No? Good. So if I didn't close public comment, I will now. I apologize if I didn't. And entertain a resolution to go into closed session.
So moved.
Wait, I have to read it.
Oh, darn
Be
it.
resolved by the Village Council of the Village of Ridgewood that the Village Council meet in closed session on October 8th, 2025 at 7:30 PM or soon thereafter as the matter on the agenda can be reached. And the said closed session be held in the caucus room on the 4th floor of the Ridgewood Village Hall, 131 North Maple Avenue, Ridgewood, New Jersey. Be it further resolved that the matters to be discussed in closed session are limited to personnel matters to include professional appointments and boards and committees. These matters are allowable under NJSA 10:4-12 et sec. Be it further resolved that the minutes of this meeting shall be made available to the general public when such matters have been deemed completed by resolution of the Village Council. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you.